Hi y'all, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Chanita. I'm here today to give y'all a from the beginning to the end way of making gravy. This kind of gravy can either be creamy gravy where it's milk is the only liquid in it, or you can do half some other form of liquid like water or broth and half milk, which will be a semi-creamy gravy, or you can use just some form of broth to be the liquid, and it would be more of a meaty flavor and not creamy at all. Anyways, I'm gonna start out by showing y'all because with turkey season coming up, you'll have an opportunity to get the juices off of your turkeys and use that juice as your main flavoring for your gravy. And so I'm going to show you all how to do that by what we'll be doing is we'll be separating. You can see in the measuring cup there that the liquid has kind of separated. On the top is going to be the fats from the turkey, and the bottom is the actual juice that you'll use. So the first thing that I do is I take a small ladle and I get all of the fat off of the top of here that I can. I mean, within reason. You don't have to get every bit of it. Of course, we know fat carries a good portion of flavor, so you know, this girl ain't got anything against a little bit of fat. But for the sake of showing y'all how to do this the proper way, you should be able to see there from the side that the ratio of juice to fat has changed a lot. I've got just about all of it that I need to get off of there now, and now you don't see hardly any fat, but we are going to use a little bit of the fat to make our gravy, as well as we're going to use all of this liquid left in here to be part of our liquid that'll be in the gravy. Anyways, the first thing that we want to do is get our pan on, and I usually put my skillet at about 7 or 8, just depending on your stovetop better than I do. Probably to be safe, I would start out at a 7, or that would be a medium to medium high. And we're going to use, I'm making 4 cups of gravy, and you can see that I have about, let's see, a little less than 2 cups of fluid here right now, and so I will be adding, of course, plenty to that. I'm going to use 8 tablespoons of oil, and the trick to making gravy is to remember 2, 2, 1. That's 2 parts oil, 2 parts flour, and 1 part liquid. So 2 tablespoons of oil, 2 tablespoons of flour, and 1 cup of liquid, whichever liquid you choose to do. This particular turkey that I cooked was a smoked turkey, and that I made for Kristen and her friends to have for their Friendsgiving tonight. And so they'll be using this. Anyways, we're waiting for the oil to get hot. And I did it like the pros do on TV, and I've already got my 8 tablespoons of flour measured out here. And so we use the whisk to incorporate the flour and the oil together. And we just want to get it well mixed, get all the clumps out that you can. And we won't add the liquid until we can tell that this will start to sizzle, and you'll see some bubbles, like you know it's gotten hot. While we're waiting for that to happen, we can go ahead and finish measuring the amount of liquid, and since I am making this demonstration for mainly Miranda and Josh and Joanne, I'm going to make this a part creamy gravy, and so if you wanted to make it even more creamy, it would also be probably thicker if you used all milk. So in other words, 4 cups of milk to the 8 tablespoons each of flour and oil. But since we're using this with a turkey dinner, it is really good to have some of the drippings, the juice that comes off of the turkey. The only reason this juice is so dark is because it was smoked. So this gravy is going to have a definite smoky flavor, but from what I've read, people like it, especially when your meat is smoked, and I believe they're having both ham and smoked turkey. So anyways, we'll go ahead and I'm just using chicken broth to supplement the rest of the broth that is needed, and I'm going to take this up to 2 cups, and I can see the measurement over here. So it didn't take very much of the chicken broth. And let me grab the milk. And our flour is starting to get hot, so that's good. We're getting where we need to be. And then we're going to take the rest of the liquid up to 4 cups, and I can see that measurement right over here. Hopefully having milk in with something that's been smoked tastes good. Guess we'll know soon. All right, my flour, I assume y'all can see that, is good and bubbly now. And the key to making gravy, besides these measurements that I'm telling you, the 2, 2, 1, is that until your gravy is completely to the consistency that you want it, the thickness that you want it, you do not stop whisking it. Don't walk away from it. Make sure that you are concentrating on just your gravy. That's how people end up with lumpy gravy, is when they don't give it the attention that it needs. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and pour in our liquid. You can see, because the liquid I'm using is a little bit warm because it just came off of a hot turkey, that it won't take very long for this to get thick. At this point, if you want to, you can turn up your heat a little bit, but if you're a little bit nervous about it, just leave your heat right where it is. And don't want to take any chances until you get more confident. I already measured out about a teaspoon of salt, and I just kind of poured in a bit of pepper. I prefer a good amount of pepper in my gravy, any kind of gravy I'm making. And then of course, when you have taken drippings from your meat of choice, you don't want to put too much salt at first. Kind of wait until the gravy gets thick and pretty much done before you add more salt, because I've found that a lot of the salt will cook out of your meat and therefore end up in your juices that you're cooking with. And then of course the broth actually has, this one that I'm using has sea salt in it too, so you just don't want to go overboard, especially when you're cooking for people that might be watching their salt intake for one reason or another. starting to heat up. I really hope that in making this gravy, as well as the turkey recipes that I've shared with y'all, y'all have an amazing holiday season, and the more you cook, the more confident you'll get, and people want to be coming to your house for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Feel free to share this with any of your friends. I didn't really have anybody that taught me how to cook all this stuff when I was first married. I kind of learned trial and error, but I like the idea of empowering young people to do something better than I did. I hope you can tell anyways from the video that it is starting to get thick, and I'll be tasting it here in a second to see the salt content. Oh, you can taste that smoky flavor. That's pretty good. I am going to add just a little bit more salt. Not too much more. See how the gravy's starting to bubble? When you start to see those bubbles like that, you're probably nearing the thickness that you will actually achieve. And we are just about done. Anyways, like I said, feel free to share with your friends and let me know how your meal turned out. Happy Thanksgiving or Christmas. I love you.